Well, we've done it. Today, we are finally talking about the final film in Phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that is Ant-Man. And then after we talk about Ant-Man, we will be just doing a quick little overview of Phase 2 as a whole and kind of wrapping it up, getting ready for Phase 3. I can't believe it. I feel like it's going really fast. I don't know. I feel like it just feels like it's flying by. But anyway, while I'm recording this, I'm actually a few movies ahead of Ant-Man now, but so I'm trying to get ahead of it so then I have less chance of posting a video on Wednesday like I did last week. So anyway, it's a true Marvel Monday today. And yeah, so let's talk about Ant-Man. So this was one of the movies on the list that I had already seen. I saw it when it was in theaters and not after that, not since that. But I did kind of have an idea of what I was getting going into it. But I will say, I feel like I keep saying it, but it just can't be overstated. Seeing everything and all these movies, the ones that I have seen, even those, watching them with the full context of everything, it's just a game changer. I see every one of those movies that I've already seen, totally differently now. So I liked this movie way more on this watch through, and I did really like it the first time, but with the full context, I feel like that scene where he ends up at the Avengers campus and he runs into Falcon, that all just made so much more sense now. And even the very, very start of the movie, when the de-aged Michael Douglas, which was, I didn't realize that while I was watching it, but when I read that after the fact, it was what? I know that Marvel does that. They use technology to make some of the actors appear younger. I know that obviously they do that, but in this scene, it was pretty good because I didn't really clock it until after the fact. But anyway, so in that first scene to see Pym with Howard Stark and Peggy, it was just so cool. And it's so funny because I know that the first time I watched it in the theaters, that means I didn't have any idea who either of those people were because I hadn't seen any Captain America or Iron Man at the time. So yeah, that was just really fun to see them and be I actually know who they are. So that was cool. And what else? Yeah, I loved seeing Falcon. I loved that whole segment. I feel like I was wanting more of him after one of the movies. Oh God, sorry. Age of Ultron. Sorry, they're all starting to blend. After Age of Ultron, because Falcon wasn't really in that one. And I just really like him, and I really like Anthony Mackie a lot. So seeing him in Ant-Man, I was super excited. So yeah, so let's go over it. I really think that Paul Rudd is perfect for this. And admittedly, you should know this about me by now, but I haven't read any of the Ant-Man comics, so I don't know if that's what the character is on paper, but I don't know. I just feel the way that he makes the personality that this character has, and whether that was on paper or it was his creation. I know he's listed as as one of the screenwriters, so I don't know if it's just because he's from that school of comedian actors who does a lot of improv, and maybe that's why, but he just did a really good job embodying this character. I really thought that the awkward humor was super fun, and I think you can say about Paul Rudd that he does kind of play himself sometimes, but I feel in this situation, for this part, it just really, really worked. I really liked, the good guy who's kind of a not so good guy, but overall he is a good guy. I'm always a sucker for that. So yeah, so just right away was super drawn to his character. I feel on this second watch, I was a lot more intrigued by Hope, because I know that she becomes the Wasp, obviously, because it's in the post credits, but also because I know that Ant-Man and the Wasp is a movie, but I haven't seen it yet, but I know that it exists. So I felt really a lot more connected to her. I don't know why, like, the story of her mother, like, moved me a lot more this time. I thought Michael Douglas just did a great job. I mean, he's always good, obviously. But he plays that, like, kind of eccentric scientist mentor so well. And he's such a, like, a dynamic guy, because, you know, he's played, like, the worst of the worst on screen, but in this movie I just found him so likable, and I really felt connected to him, like, right away. The bad guy, I forget his name, was it Daryl, the yellow jacket guy. He sucked. Like, that guy is good at being a jerk. Like, wow. Like, he was just a really good villain. Like, I think I thought multiple times while I was watching, like, oh, this guy's enjoying this. Like, he likes being the bad guy. It's, like, so obvious. So yeah, he was definitely very good at that. I do also think Michael Pena is great. I know he was, like, the standout to me the first time I saw it. And that definitely was the same story again this time. He's just very, very funny. Like, he's just a really funny guy. So he did a great job. I loved I totally didn't remember this, but those segments where he is, like, telling the stories, you know, and he gets kind of carried away, like, with the last one and everything. They were so funny. Like, they were really, really well done. Especially the final one, because it mixes in the Stan Lee cameo, and you see Falcon, and then obviously, because I am a few movies ahead when I'm recording this, I know that leads into Ant-Man showing up in Civil War, which is really cool. And yeah, so it was just super fun. It was just a really fun movie. It felt kind of like low stakes, which I feel like is nice to have these, like, lower stakes movies in between these, like, really high stakes ones, like Civil War or Winter Soldier or Age of Ultron. You know what I mean? Like, to have these ones where it's kind of separate but still connected to everything that we've been learning about. What else did I like? I'm trying to think of what some of my favorite moments were. I always like to see Bobby Cannavale. He's just one of my favorite actors. So I was really happy to see him, and he plays that role of, like, the jerk boyfriend, like, really well too. So yeah, I don't know. It's just a really fun movie. It made me, at first I was, like, not super excited to see Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like, that's why I haven't seen it yet. But now that I've seen this again, I'm, like, really excited. Like, I'm so excited to see it that I almost want to, like, jump ahead, but I'm not going to. But yeah, so it's time for the phase 2 flip through. Looking back on this phase, it was really interesting. There were some really high highs. I would count Winter Soldier really, really blew me away. In a way that I didn't expect it to. I also really enjoyed Iron Man 3. Age of Ultron was great on the rewatch. Thor: The Dark World was definitely a weaker link, but it's like I don't hold any, like, ill will towards it. Like, I wouldn't even, like, recommend against watching it, but it was just, you know, it was the weak link in the phase 3 chain, I think. I also feel like Guardians didn't super age well with me. I don't know, like, on the rewatch, I didn't feel as pulled into it as I did the first time, although that might have had a lot to do with how much Winter Soldier blew my mind. I feel like maybe those things are connected. The general feelings that I'm having right now are that I'm really glad I watched WandaVision when it was on before I started this whole thing, because having seen that show just really set a good groundwork, even though there is stuff that, like, I didn't understand that I'm still learning about. Like, it was just worth it. So I'm glad I did that. But yeah, it's just every movie surprises me more. Every movie seeing in new context is really fun and exciting. There's a lot of them in phase 2 that I think I will watch again, which is surprising. I'm always surprised when it's like with these movies when I want to see them again. Yeah, so that's been really exciting. So I'm gonna show you the final result of the Ant-Man pages now. You can see I drew some ants along the top of that page on the right, right there, and I was very proud of that. So they don't look very good close up, but from far away they look cool. And then you'll see my Ant-Man collage art page here on the left, and that was a quote from the movie when they're in the middle of that heist, when Michael Pena's character asks him, "Are we the good guys?" And he's like, "Yeah, we're the good guys." I loved that. So yeah, and then I just did some phase 2 reflecting. I have a little ranking there in the corner. I'm kind of ranking each phase as I go. And now we're about to be in phase 3. So I did just like a simple collage and then just put Marvel stickers all over it. I'm really excited for phase 3. And yeah, so I will see you next week for Civil War. I think there's a lot to talk about there. And then we will be on the way to finally getting caught up. Thanks for hanging. Bye.